Hi, folks. Welcome to our first exchange meeting for 2026. If you would rise if you're able, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, welcome to the exchange. I'm Tom Foster, president of the 2026 Board of Directors. This meeting is audio and video recorded by the RCSC, and we are also live streaming today. Please take out your cell phones and electronic devices and make sure they're on a silent mode. As a reminder, verbal or physical aggression toward any member, guest, or RCSC employee is not acceptable. Offenders may be asked to leave the meeting. Let me start here by introducing the Board of Directors, our timekeeper today, and the management personnel. Director Brissett.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see so many here on a new year. We added chairs. That's a first.
Excellent.
Oh, here.
Secretary Keiss.
Good morning.
Boy, how late were you out on New Year's Eve? So, Vice President Net.
Confirm nor deny that.
Okay, Vice President Nettesign.
Good morning, everybody.
And former Director Gray is now Treasurer Gray.
Good morning.
Director Mapes.
Here. Morning.
And Director Ruff.
I'm going to arm wrestle you for the best seat in the House.
All right, timekeeper will be Secretary Keiss. On the management side, we have our GM is running a few minutes late. Director of Finance is Kevin McCurdy.
How you doing?
Director of Operations is Mike Diermeyer. Director of Facilities is Mike Whiprud.
Morning.
Director of Golf is Eddie Renio.
Morning.
And the board coordinator is Marcia Johnson.
Good morning.
I get kudos because I didn't forget her today, so. All right, let me also recognize Alan Kleinhans, Carly Young, and Miguel Jackson, who are our audio and visual engineers. A couple things to start with before we get into the regular part of the meeting. First of all, we did lose Maureen Almazan last week. She left the organization, but she was a tremendous asset in putting together a lot of the events and activities that we all shared in. So she was able to use that experience to enhance her economic abilities. So we can't blame her for that, but we will certainly miss her. And a couple other things here. Board appointments, we're still accepting resumes. If anyone would like the opportunity to fill, we still have 2 vacancies on the board. So if you would like to send a resume in, you would be considered for one of those 2 vacancies. We have a change in some of the things, how a full year pass is accounted for the golf situation. Secretary Keiss, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, the Director of Golf and the Director of Finance and the Golf Advisory Committee have been working on a way to spread out the pain for people that have the annual no-fee pass. As many of you might know, the no-fee pass has gone up to $2,800 a year. And it's gone up quite a bit lately because we needed to. So what we've come up with is a plan that to break that down into 2 installments, so that the first month that a person's no-fee pass is due, if they pay half of it at that point, then 3 months from then, they can pay the other half of it. So that spreads out the pain somewhat, so it's not as it's not as onerous on people going through. And we think that this will, is a benefit to our members because it makes it less painful to be able to play golf as they might enjoy. So thanks to Eddie and Kevin and everybody that's worked on it. We're glad to be able to do this to help the members.
All right, thank you. When you came in, we had a slide up for where we are with Mountain View, and Vice President Nettesheim, would you like to elaborate on that?
I have it all in my presentation.
Oh, we're having a presentation. I
We
thought
are.
we were just having a slide.
Nope.
Well, then it's time for you to get up and do your presentation.
Lack of coordination on my part, I apologize. Alan, could you put the presentation up, please? Okay, this is our January update. I'm doing my roam around thing that I like to do. I'm going to try not to turn off the slide presentation because at least once every day, time I do this, I manage to turn it off. So I'm going to try really hard not to. So, the Mountain View progress, what's completed? You know the first 3 bullets, but the final bullet says the research and analysis of the option 3 permutations have been delivered to us. So if you remember last month, December, I made the statement that we had asked our task Triarch with taking option 3, which was the sun, the moon, and the stars, and giving us permutations of that at different, could be included at different price points. So they have done that for us, and it has been delivered, and it has been shared with the membership. So in progress for the RCSC board, we're still providing Triarch with any additional data. We're still reviewing any kind of design contracts as they come in. We are in meetings, infrequent meetings at this point because Triarch's head down doing all of the design work. But the option 3 permutations, we're looking for member feedback. We're going to be doing analysis on that feedback, and then at the board of directors meeting at the end of the month, we will have a vote on which permutation of option 3 we will choose. So in progress for Triarch. They're completing the topographic survey. They have reviewed the buildings that may remain in the final design, and buildings that remain in the final design will be related to the permutations that you guys see tomorrow night when Triarch does their presentation. So the design phase, basically, as I said, option 3 was the members' request for the sun, the moon, and the stars, everything we wanted in our wish list, and then maybe a little bit more. So we're going to do a presentation, or Triarch is going to come and do a presentation tomorrow at 5:30 right here. Please come. We really encourage everybody to come. There's the 3 permutations for option 3, and they are related to budget. So I would strongly recommend you come. If not, look at the presentation online. This will be live streamed, so please watch the live stream if you can't make it. And the slope flat floor seating research, and you're going to hear it referred to as retractable versus fixed seating, is how you're going to hear it referred to in the presentation for the performance space. So once the board has voted on an option 3 permutation, Triarch will then reach out to impacted clubs and stakeholders to talk about things like, what size cabinet do you need? Do you need 4 shelves, 5 shelves, 17 shelves? Those kind of things. Those more detailed design issues that as we flesh out the final design for Mountain View, we will be able to determine. And this is kind of exciting, guys. Now we're actually going to start talking. Once we get past this last vote, we're actually going to be starting to talk about things like color. I mean, color. All along, we've been talking about this space or that space. Now we're going to be talking about things like color and shelving. And, you know, if we do the pool, do we do this kind of a cabana or that kind of a cabana, or what does seating look like at the pool? So these are some, I think it's a good step. We're going in the right direction to get Mountain View done. We're sharing the design progress on the website, our Facebook page, and email drafts, and our exchange meetings. So we're doing that to make sure that we can communicate as much as possible. Please let us know if there are other ways that you can share information with us, or you think that we should share information. So if you have a better way of communicating with the members and you want to share that, we're open to ideas. Please let us know. It's really, we want to get this out to as many people as possible. So if there's things that we're not doing that you think might help, please let us know. Please continue to communicate with us. If you need to talk with us, you can contact us as board of directors at suncityaz.org. We all get those emails. So rather than having to do one email for each director, you'd send it to the board of directors. Everybody gets to see it. And everybody benefits from your opinion and what you want to share with us. So please continue to communicate. So what comes next? The Triarch Town Hall meeting on January 13th at 5:30. The monthly design updates that I do here, where I'm sharing with you what has happened this month. We are meeting a couple of times a month with Triarch as they update us on the progress of where we're going. That's part of what feeds into this presentation to ensure that we're sharing things as much as possible with the members. We are identifying member engagement opportunities to present design preferences as we move forward. And then we will have a final design presentation to the members. So once the design is done and everything has been decided, then we will come to you and say, voila, here we are. This is what we've got and this is what we're going forward with. So I encourage you, as the Triarch reaches out, if you're in a club or you're in a community group that they reach out to, please, please engage with them like you have done since the start of visioning. I've said it before and I'll say it again, without your help, without your input, we would not be as far along as we are. So thank you guys for that. So again, Mountain View Town Hall, permutation presentation for option 3 right here tomorrow 5:30, and the members will have the opportunity after they've heard the presentation, they will have the opportunity to come up to the podium and speak and ask questions. So I encourage everybody who has an interest, a vested thought process around Mountain View, to please come to the town hall and share your thoughts with us, because we as the board will be taking that information away. And everything that you share with us will weigh in on how each member of each director on the board will vote come the end of the month. So, calendar. First quarter, fourth quarter of 25, the design contracts were signed. January 13th is the option 3 permutations town hall. And then the remaining design dates are to be determined once we have more firm decision around the 3 permutations that Triarch is going to present to everybody, including, I want to share that across all 3 permutations is the discussion of the fixed versus retractable seating option. So when you're listening to it, assume that once you see that part of the presentation, it applies to all 3. It's not just this one. Because what we did was, as you'll see with the presentation, we treated that as a separate discussion point because of the fact that it applies to all 3 permutations. It's not just, oh, you can only have this, so it applies. So thank you for coming. We continue to look forward to your update. It's great to see so many faces. Today it's January. And I guess I'll be here for another year to tell you about Mountain View. Thank you, guys.
Well, not to surprise her, but her term is for 3 more years, so I'm going to be around for a bit. Yeah, thank you. One other clarification to all of that information that Chris just outlined for you is that when you get to the end of that design phase, now that we have a design that we want to move forward with, that's when it goes to bid. And the contractor, whoever that turns out to be, gets selected at that point in time, and then the shovels go into ground, okay? So there's one more significant step yet to go after this design phase is completed, but holy cow, we are actually making good progress, and we're getting close.
And we are having a shovel raffle. We are. Somebody who gets the first shovel in the ground, we're going to raffle that off. Not quite sure what we're going to do with the, how it would work, but I would love to see that. I was reading about history about Sun City in a historical document I was given, and how they named Sun City, and they did that with a contest. So I think we can do the first shovel in the ground. We can definitely do that.
Awesome.
I just committed him.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is news to me, but I'm glad we got there. Yes, but that's fine. That's a great idea, and so let's keep everyone involved and communication, so that everybody's a part of this process, because this is the spending of your funds for your benefit, for the improvement of Sun City and the benefit of yourselves and future residents and home values here. So it's a win-win for everyone. Okay, I think that's everything we needed to do. If you got in the back, you picked up hopefully one of the topic spreadsheets, and it's relatively light this month. I think last month at least in my recollection, is we dealt with many of the questions that came up during the meeting, so there's only a few things here. First one is alternative facilities for the Players Club. I know management's been in discussion with the players. Is there any further discussion going on, Mr. Deermeyer, on that, or not yet?
No, I think we have it written the right way.
Okay. All right. So ongoing, I guess. Last month, an issue was brought up about potential concern about ventilation in one of the clubs. So we did go out to get an industrial hygienist to go into that particular facility and try to measure those things. But that got delayed, is my understanding. And do we have a scheduled date for that yet, Mr. Whiproot, or?
Yes, Mr. President. It's going to happen in the next week or so.
All right, excellent. Good to keep that moving forward. And then there was a request about percentage of households versus email for events. So I know we actually had an amazing number of emails, addresses. Was there any attempt to try and identify the number that were being opened versus what were being sent versus how many live in the community?
Yeah, we have some data. We're still analyzing it, though.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think we're ready to open the floor for your comments. Secretary Keist, do you have a number to start with here?
Number 65?
Good morning, distinguished board. My name is Bill Agee, 149789. I am the president of the Duffyland Dog Park Social Club, and I would like to talk about some of the responsibilities of the social club. Number one being we're expected to enforce rules. Some of the rules cannot be enforced. For example, wearing dog tags and having vaccinated dogs is not only a rule, but it's a law. I've approached several people about not having tags, and I've been cursed at, I've been physically threatened, and you're probably thinking, well, if that happens, fill out an incident report form. That's hard to do when you don't know the name of the person, because they won't give it to you. It's just, like I said, some of the rules are just too hard to enforce. I would suggest sending out board employees or employees of RCSC to randomly come out and try to enforce those rules. I would also like to talk about emptying garbage bins and taking them to the dumpster. First of all, we're constantly running out of large garbage bags. When this happens, the bags get so full that people can't lift them, and sometimes the bottoms fall out because of the quality of the bags. We would like to have help from the maintenance crews to empty those bags. We are the only club that has to do this. A lack of garbage bags and poop bags has been a problem for a long time. We constantly run out. Thank you, and I would appreciate your help on this matter.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. Are the bags being replenished or no? All right. We'll look into that, and I know we've addressed this in the past, so we'll try to okay, then it's time to see if we can't put a little more enforcement behind that.
I've had club members go to the board's office and ask the receptionist why bags weren't being replenished, and her answer was it's because people are stealing.
Well, I remember that incident, and that's been addressed, so you shouldn't need to worry about that part. But we just want to make sure that maintenance has been providing bags on a continual basis, but I'm getting the drift from you that it's hit and miss or not.
Okay, so we'll look into it and see what we can do.
Yes.
We'll look into it and see what we can do to improve it. Sir, can you come back with afterwards? Okay.
The reasons we go through them all is because we can't fill them up. Because, like I said, they're too heavy and the bottoms fall out, so we're emptying them when they're just about half full. So, yeah, we go through a lot of bags, but there's also a lot of people that go to the park.
Director Mapes.
Yes. One thing you should probably do is go to the COC, the club's office, because when you're having issues with people in your club and people not having the dog tags or anything, one thing might be to have them required to wear their name badge. If you've got a membership card for your club, that they have this on so you can see what their name is. Or anybody, maybe we can have it where you're required to wear identification. They have to have their card to get in there, or. Mm-hmm.
Probably should be.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on down to the COC and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's move on. Thank you for those comments, though, Phil.
Number 66, please.
Hi, Paul Hiles, number 127710. I want to propose a exemption in the board policy and maybe the bylaws. I've talked about it before, but I was told that it was already in the rules. I don't see it in there. The exemption be that if you inherit a house, which you're not on the title, and you're married to the last owner, then you don't have to pay the PIF and SIF fees to transfer it to your own name or trust. In Board Policy 24, Section 1A7, it currently says in the event of remaining owners or owner, not the original payer of PIF, unless legally married to the owner at time of purchase, which I interpret as, A and B get married, and B buys a house here, and then dies. A would get it be able to inherit it without paying the PIF and SIF. What I propose is changing it to, unless legally married to the owner at time of death, and then transfer it to themselves or their own trust. Just purpose of, we've got people I know that their spouses died and they can't come up with $5,000 some to get the house transferred to their own name.
Okay.
That's all.
This is something that keeps coming up from time to time. The bylaws group did try to address that, I believe. Director,
In the bylaws, it says, in the event of death of the sole owner on a property deed, a spouse who was married to the property prior to the property purchase will be considered the owner and is not liable for PIF or SIF fees. That is in the bylaws now, sir.
Oh, okay, I just looked them up online last night.
Yeah, if you look in the bylaws, it's under definitions, P3.
see, yeah, I think there was a.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying if one person buys a house and then you get married after that, the person who owns it, the remaining person can inherit it without the fee.
Okay.
Well, we'll have
I
to
don't know
look
if I'm
into
stating
that.
that
There was
well.
some legal, those things were written with a lot of legal guidance, so
Uh-huh.
we'll have to make sure that that would be appropriate. And I know there are all kinds of other insurance issues that come up if you're married prior to coming in, but you're fine, but if you're married after coming in, not so much. So we'll just have to look
Okay.
through that and make sure. So
Can I have some notes, can I give it to whoever's interested?
certainly.
Yes, please. Oh, great. Thank you very much.
All right.
Number 67, please.
Good morning. I'm Sue Bleckel, 137471. I'm president of the Friends of the Sun City Libraries, and I want you to know that the Friends continue to work cooperatively with the RCSC to support and improve our libraries, and we appreciate all the efforts of the RCSC maintenance staff and operations to help us with our projects, especially around the Friends Used Bookstore, Books Around the Corner, which is in the Sun City Branch Library. Recently, we worked with RCSC to improve the lighting in the bookstore, and we've done cooperative projects, including electrical improvements for today's technology needs, improved lighting in the program room, a water bottle filler at the water fountain, and our last big project was the drive-up book return at the north side of the library at Bell. So we have many great things that we can appreciate the efforts of both the RCSC, the Maricopa County Library District, and the Friends of the Sun City Libraries. We are also grateful to have Chris Nettesheim as our liaison. Chris attends our board meetings, takes great notes, and reports back on issues. She's a wonderful library advocate. Don't go away, Chris. The Friends Group is getting the word out to our RCSC clubs too. Starting at 10 o'clock this morning, we will be presenting a program about our libraries and the Friends of the Libraries in the east part of this room, of this auditorium, to the Sundial Craft Club. We would love to share this presentation with other Sun City clubs and organizations upon request. We are pleased to be a resource and an asset with the RCSC and the libraries to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And yes, I will do my best to make sure Chris is attached to your group for the next 3 years. Go ahead.
Number 68, please. I thought she was 67.
Were you 67 or 68?
Sue?
Yeah, I thought so. 68, please.
Evie Webb Swope, number 168514. I'm back. I'm here to discuss the Duffyland Dog Park. We had a lot of discussions last year about the dead trees and the bushes. Some of it has been taken care of, but consequently, what we have now is free running water throughout the park that is where the trees and the bushes used to be watered, creating very wet puddles throughout the park, which if you are not owners of a black and white 90-pound Australian Shepherd, you have no idea what fun it is to go home and follow him around with a broom and shovel. But that's my problem, not yours. What is all of our problem, though, is this is wasteful. And in a state that has problems with drought and have sufficient water, to have free running water just doesn't make any sense. That needs to be taken care of. Also, we have a concrete table that is kind of surrounded by what I would call police tape, where it's got a major crack in it, but that's been like that for months. And Tom, as you said earlier, that this community needs to stand and have standards that makes future generations want to come here, rather than looking seedy. And whether it's the dog park or a golf course or what have you, we need to spruce things up. I invite all of you to come to the park, see what's going on, and see what I'm talking about so it doesn't come to just words, and provide some action. Because honestly, and this is said throughout, that we're kind of feeling like the redheaded stepchild that everybody kind of pushes to the side. So really would like to have us, we're better than that, right? Thank you.
Okay.
69, please.
Tad Daughters, 436. Just like to say thank you to the board for the work they're doing on Mountain View. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's presentation and continuing with input for our final design. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 70, please.
Hello, Board. Susan Bjork, 112-650. As you know, normally I wing it, but I wrote this down because it's really important. So first, I want to thank you, Tom, for the backhanded compliment at the LRP the other day. I'm apparently smart, but I don't let things go. So what I'd like to do is point out some of those things that I don't let go and why they may be important to not let go until we see clarity around the decisions being made. So first, when I first moved here after owning, I mean, our house has been in the family since 2003. I owned the house since 2010. I moved here 21, was the $40 million spend on Mountain View. So I kept on that. And, you know, we're evolved, kind of back to where we were with the SAC, but we're evolved. The $20 million neglected maintenance, which also included, this isn't as large of a spend, but it included those chairs at Mountain View, or at Marionette, which ended up being a community embarrassment on social media. The next thing was replacing the general manager because of his incompetence at the time. So now we've got a good general manager that's gonna work for our community, hopefully, and we see hope. Replacing the director of golf, and now we've got Eddie, who is fantastic, and he turned it around, and you can see what competence can get you. The third, or the fifth, whatever I'm on, indoor dog facility. Now, I have never been against an indoor dog facility, but I think it can be done for a lot less than even $500,000. But what you're doing is you're spending $500,000, $500,000 on a dog park or an indoor dog facility at Lakeview, which Lakeview is up for remodel. So that kind of ties the hands of the LRP as far as remodel, if we don't want to waste that $500,000 in another couple years, because we won't want to demolish spending $500,000 now. Yet finally, the master plan, which could be less than that $500,000, which was agreed to by the board on February 27th of 2025 to start in 2025 and end in 2026. But it's now pushed to 2027. And I know we talk about accounting issues, but we've worded things before to finagle things into the PIF. So we need to work on that. So while you may not like my need to press on what, wanting clear answers, actions, and decisions that don't make the least bit of sense, I didn't let them go rightly because this is our money, the owner's money, not just yours. And you're to make decisions in the best interest of all of Sun City, not just a few members. And prioritizing those decisions is important. So acting in good faith of all members as a whole is required.
Thank you, Susan.
Number 71, please. Is there? She's right behind. She's just coming in now. Okay. So, stranger in the back, if you don't have a number, since no one else wants to speak, you can come also. You got a number? You're 72? Wow. Following procedures, that's unusual for you.
Maybe we should go to 73.
Steve Collins, 166871. Just a few things. I'm still in the COC, and we would love to see the dog park people come to us. You had 2 complaints today that we never heard anything about. Please come see us at the COC. The air quality inspector you have coming, please notify the club 5 days in advance so they can build up a stockpile of stuff to put in the ovens. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you. And Preston, you're now on the COC, and that's great. He'll do a great job. And Preston, like me, he wants to help all of you. His phone number is area code 405-873.
And that's not my number, so you can say whatever number you want, because that's not it.
So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Steve. 73?
That would be 73.
I'm sorry.
Let's do 73 first.
Let's do this one, and then we'll touch the live stream.
Okay.
Kim Donnelly Summers, 159369. I'm a member of Duffy Land Dog Park and a two-a-day usually visitor to the dog park. We really need maintenance's help. There's no longer that we can take care of all the broom pushing. I'm facing my 7th fusion in a week. So there's no way we can keep up picking up extra poop, broom pushing, and emptying those garbage. There's just no way we can do that. The place is a mess. And following Deb's comments about trying to keep the place looking nice, that's how I believe too. We want to shine Duffy Land Dog Park. We want people who are coming in for the very first time to really see it and enjoy it and want to be there. Have there been problems? Yes. Are there problems? Yes. And the only ones right now, we are just getting too old to pick up everything. Pat's been doing it for a year now, and it hurts her back, and a lot of other people's also. We need some people to come in there and help us with the dog bags and with the picking up. Once a month is not enough to have your guys come in and clean up the park. It's got to be done more often. The leaves fall off the tree, and we can't find the poop in the leaves because there's so many leaves on the ground. Seriously. I'm in there all the time with a small dog, and so I'm constantly trying to find his dog poop, and it's really hard to do. So please help us out. We're being very serious, and we've come to you asking sincerely for your help. We love our park. Those of us that come twice a day, and there's many of us here today that do that, we love our park. And there's no way that we want to give it up, but we want to show it off as being the best park in the valley, in the west side at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
74, please.
Sorry, I have a little hoarse here. I have to read my number. These people know their numbers. 51858, Pat Holder. I'm with the Duffy Land Dog Park. I know. What I'm here for is we're asking to have maintenance come and empty our bins, because I have been doing it for 3.5 years, and sometimes 3 times a week. The last time I did it, because lack of black bags, I had to empty them all into one, getting it up, putting it over a dumpster. Dumpsters are this high. I'm 5'3", I'm not short. Dumpsters this high. This probably weighed 15 pounds. Getting it up there, my hand got caught under there. I pulled a ligament in my arm. So what I'm saying is that we need help lifting, or we need help emptying the bags. Years ago, we asked to have the help, and you wanted to close the park to do it. You do not need to close the park, because I've been doing it for 3.5 years, 3 times a week, and I have not had one dog attack me. Yes, I'm there twice a day, 7 days a week normally, but I have never been attacked by a dog, nothing. Again, with the black bags, this has been ongoing for as long as I've been there, for 20-some years. Well, the last 5 that I have been involved there. Before that, you weren't involved with it there. I have begged for the bags. I have bought bags from the house that don't fit, and they keep saying we're stealing them. They're under lock and key. Nobody steals black bags. 5 bins, 2 trash cans, 3 times a week, added up. They give us a small roll. By the time I put the bags in the containers, I go through a roll, then we ask for another one. Well, what did you do with those? Come and do it. You gave us a porta potty, we thank you, but you gave it to us because you were going to get sued because we had no facilities to go to the bathroom. You gave us cement slabs in front of our gates. I'm shaking, sorry. You gave us cement slabs in front of our gates, not because of the graces of your heart. You did it because somebody fell and you were going to get sued. Everything we've asked for is because it was safety for the people that go there. We have between 40 and 50 dogs that go to the park a day. And if you think that's not, I'm exaggerating, I'm not. You give us these little dots that go on the back of our keychains or whatever to get in. We have no control who you give it to. As Bill said, somebody can come in there that, we don't even know that person. They're not a member. All the clubs, usually you have to join, you have to wear your name tag. All the clubs I have gone to is that way. The dog club, you cannot. You swipe that card. Thank you.
You can come back if you'd like, ma'am. Number 75, please.
Oh, there is a 75. I'm
Oh,
sorry, I
ma'am,
forgot.
The live stream first, yes, I'm
Go
sorry, my
ahead.
fault.
Mike?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chris Tracy, member number 125567. Good morning and hello to 2026 Possibilities. As the community that changed the nation, our Del Webb Sun Cities Museum is involved with this year's national celebration of our country's 250th anniversary. Is the RCSC promoting our annual 4th of July Liberty Bell event with the America 250 Arizona Committee? Are there other RCSC events planned for this year-long celebration? Hope we are taking advantage of our national marketing exposure and local member engagement opportunities. Thank you. Should I go next?
Well, you may be more informed than the rest of us on exactly what's going on with those plans.
Yeah, so we're working with our community partners. We're working directly with the museum. We have we have a regular 4th of July event. We don't have the details, that's why it isn't out there yet, exactly how we're going to embrace the America 250 with Arizona 250 and their whole setup, but we're working with shows involved. We've got all our community partners involved, so we're hoping to have a big bash in July. And then in November, we have our the time capsule unveiling, 50-year time capsule unveiling. So there'll be details coming out. We're working hand in hand with the museum on that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Chris Light, 153584. I just wanted to respond back to Chris's asking about ways to engage people. One of the things is I would guess that if you ask the attendants at the pool or at Mountain View, I'm sure they get questions all the time. So A, they're a great source of information, and B, maybe a hard copy of information kept there for people that are interested might be one way to do that.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah. My thank yous to getting the streaming going. It's been incredibly helpful. I did have one question. Last time I looked, there was not any updates. Well, there was updates, but it showed that all the meetings were always going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning. And this is a very active community, and a lot of things go on between 9 and 10 in the mornings. And two, we are aging the other direction now as we're starting to get younger and younger people in, and a lot of them are still working. So I just would like you guys to readdress that issue of timing of the meetings. Okay? Thank you all. Appreciate what you do.
I'm sorry, Secretary Keiss?
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. We've talked about this for a while, and I understand that the meeting schedule has been set for this year, but I think we really need to look into redoing that and providing some more versatility in times when not only the exchanges are, but the board meetings are. I think that's important. We need to look into that and make changes.
Okay. Is there anyone else? 70,
Number 76, please.
Susan Bjork, 112-650. So to finalize what I was saying before, because I know, Tom, you're going to say that the indoor dog park or whatever dog training facility went through the proper channels, but I'd like to remind you that that was an arbitrary number that didn't go through BP 16. And at the time that it was approved, the president of the board was married to the dog club president, so it kind of lends to the special projects that we all want gone. And most importantly, the master plan, which is probably going to be less than that, we didn't, in the LRP, the people that were responsible for the master plan, we said we weren't going to pursue additional work because it was a lot of work put into that process. And we weren't going to pursue additional work until there were monies committed in 2025 to start the process, and then we could continue in 2026. But that didn't happen. So that was not, and that project is in the best interest of the entire community. And so that's where I have the issue. But again, to your statement about me being smart but not letting things go, I think I'm smart in trying to get the answers that we need about these decisions that are being made for the entire community with our dollars. It's not little petty stuff that I'm pursuing. I think I'm smart in making sure that we stay on top because, of course, we can look at Minnesota and see what's happened there for lack of interest in what's going on.
thank you, Susan.
Number 77, please.
Kim Donnelly Summers, 159369. I want to assume that Susan doesn't have a dog, but I'm not sure about that. Best Friends Dog Club had tried for years to get a facility, and it wasn't something that just popped up last year. I felt like it was a building that became available last year. I don't know where the $500,000's coming from or where that's supposed to be going, but Best Friends deserves to have an indoor place where dogs can be trained. It's amazing how dogs can be trained and how smart they are and what they can do. It's not just something for fun. And it's the same thing that we do at Duffy Land. I belong to both clubs, and it's the same thing. But to carry on with the needs of Duffy Land, we've had a tremendous amount of rain over the last few months, at least for us. And the areas in front of the entrances, even with the slab, does not maintain the water. We end up with a huge puddle in front of the doors, which makes it hard, very hard, especially for someone with a cane or someone that doesn't have a leg to enter the park, as well as other people, I'm sure. So that needs to be resolved too. And I also wanted to say, if you all are coming to the park, please remember to get your little tag on the back of your card, because otherwise you can't get in, which I find to be just ridiculous, truly. And I guess new cameras went up and a new system went in, and I don't know how much you guys paid for it, but I imagine it wasn't cheap. So if you can do all of that, you can have your maintenance people come out 3 or 4 times a month and clean up our park, let alone come out and empty our trash. No one else. Who else? Does anybody, who cleans the pool? Who takes out the trash in Palo Verde's room or Lakeview's room or any of the other rooms? None of the members do that. Why are we forced to do that to keep our park clean? Why are we doing that? No other club cleans up after themselves. Tell me who. I'd love to hear. Who cleans up after? The metal shop cleans up?
Yeah.
Okay. probably because of all the metal pieces.
Thank you, Kim.
Anyway, thank you.
Number 78?
Lori Ellingson, 133335. I've talked several times about better communication, and I am on the communication committee. But for the longest time, I feel, and I've made this quote before from Cool Hand Luke, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And it is a problem, and it continues to be a problem. There's a lot of confusion. Because it's a 55 retirement community, I don't believe there's anyone here that was born in Sun City or grew up in Sun City. Everyone moved here, and they moved here from a city or a town or a township. So they moved here with that same premise of how the community was run. And by having this community called Sun City, there's a misconception. People think it is a city, and it is not. So we need to change the name, or we need to do a better job of having a connection with the realtors so that when somebody is interested in moving here, the realtors can let them know, you are not moving into a city, you are moving into a community that is run by a nonprofit organization. And there are different rules, and there are different regulations. And that would help eliminate all the confusion that people have. I went to the Showa annual meeting, and sadly enough, it was a dismal turnout. But one resident talked about the fact that when they look in the paper for listings, it still says no HOA. And that's not true. We do have an HOA. It's that it's not required. So we need to do a better job of combining RCSC with Showa and with all the other community partners, and a better job of communicating to the residents so that they have a better understanding of the rules and regulations that they have to live under. Thank you.
Treasurer Gray?
Thank you. Yeah, I do want to make one comment about that. We've had a lot of issues in the past that have to be issued, repaired, basically, overcome. I just want to say one of the things with this particular board and this last year is in the past, the rec centers have not always been as well focused on the other nonprofit organizations in Sun City. And I'm glad to say that this board, and in particular Chris Nettesheim, as you know, has been working with Showa and COA to help inform our residents, because you're absolutely right. There are a lot of people that do not understand that what a city is and what it isn't. But as you'll notice, this last year, we've had a couple meetings. We've been working together to help inform people. That's a direction that will take a certain amount of effort and time to basically get people informed of that. And I think, too, you're absolutely right, and I appreciate having some realtors here, because we do have a lot of realtors that are selling in Sun City, and unfortunately, there's a lot of realtors that they may get a client and they come here and we're not in their field of expertise. They're realtors, but they don't know our community. So that's going to be a continued effort that all of our organizations, and I think the rec center I just want you to assure you, we are working on that with our other groups. It's just that you can't snap your fingers. It takes time, and it takes a certain amount of continued enforcement of that information. But again, I think we've turned a corner as an organization, the RCSC has, and we're moving in that direction. We're cooperating more, and we are in that process of informing people, because you're absolutely right. So many people come in here, they don't know the difference between Showa and the rec center. They don't know the difference between an unincorporated community and a city. We are working on that, though, and I think we're making progress, so thank you.
Putting what at the front page?
We're not a city. Explaining that to the community. If there's anything that gets read, that does. So why aren't you putting it on the front page of the newsletter that comes out monthly? Or when will that be happening?
So I will say that where we're at right now is we are starting to meet with Showa and Koa. We are part of the leadership coalition for the Sun City community. And we are meeting with Showa and Koa to outline where we're going forward this year. We had goals last year. We accomplished those goals. You're asking, before we communicate it, we need to be in consensus with our two partners how we want to approach that. So I can't give you an answer. I can't speak for Showa and I can't speak for Koa.
Ma'am, please.
What I'm telling you is that once we have met, we'll have a discussion. I'm hearing from you is you're saying, please put this information on the front page of the monthly update. That's what I'm hearing for you. We are documenting that, and we'll have an answer for you next month. Okay, so I'm hearing what you're saying. I really am. I'm just explaining that we can't just do it in isolation, because then that means we're not good partners. Okay?
Well, there have been, excuse, ma'am, please. We don't want this to become too much of a free-for-all, just a little free-for-all, but not too much. Now, Chris and Showa and Koa have been putting on these town hall kind of events numerous times during the year where they explained exactly what was just raised by Ms. Ellington about, okay, what does the rec center do and what are they responsible for? What does Showa do? What are they responsible for? What does Koa do? And the posse, and on and on and on of all the different organizations that are responsible for services within this unincorporated community. How many times we sit here and someone comes up and says, I have a complaint about the roads. This is a rec center. That's the only thing we have responsibilities for. We are not in charge of roads. We're not in charge of stoplights. We're not in charge of crossings. You know, those are things that the county has to be responsible for. And it is, I admit, it is confusing. And it is a source of continuous explanation to current residents as well as prospective residents of just who's on first and who's on second and I don't know who's on third kind of thing. That it's unclear who's responsible for what, when, and where. We are having these discussions and meetings to try and help address those issues. You may or may not attend those, I don't know, but they've been, I think, very well attended, and the explanations that we've been trying to push out into the community are, I think, pretty inclusive. So
we post the YouTube videos of the presentations every time they happen. They're out there. We have the information on our website talking about what RCSC is and what it's not. We have the Sun City Museum that clearly states what our community is. We have Showa stating what our community is. We have Koa stating what our community is. We have CAN, we have the Posse, we have the Prides.
Ma'am, that's enough. Okay, this is not the purpose to have an argument like this in this environment.
We're not. And I told you, once we've spoken with Showa and Koa,
Ed?
I'm going to let Ed speak for Showa because Ed's here. But I'm going to say, when we've had that discussion, we will bring your request back next month and have an answer. Something may happen before then, but we will have an answer because we respond to the exchange questions. So thank you for bringing the question up. It's much appreciated.
Good morning. Ed Van Ness, 116313. Currently the president of Showa. And I have to say to Rick's comment that we have made major steps in communicating with each other, working together as a cohesive unit, which we have never done in the history of Sun City until this past year. So you got to give us time to move forward to get a plan in place where we can come to you guys and explain what we're doing together. And, you know, I have to congratulate the board for what they have done this past year. They've turned us around immensely. And we are so excited about what we are doing together. Our coalition meeting, which is held in the Posse, is just the leaders of the community that come together and we voice our opinions. We talk about what's going on. What can we do to help each other? And we're really moving ground, whether you know it or not. It's come a long ways. You know, there are going to be continual problems that are going to pop up. And this is where you need to bring it to us so we understand. You have worries about the roads, come to the Roads and Safety meeting, which meets every third Wednesday of the month. It's the Showa office at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. I'm sorry, we don't we don't want to stay up that late. But anyways, you know, thank you for voicing your opinions and thank you for bringing these things to the attention of the board. But we are a cohesive unit now that are working together. And, you know, Chris and Assign, you've done a marvelous job in pushing this forward. So, you know, we are a community. We're finally working together. So give us time to work this out and we'll probably have better results for you in the future. But thank you for voicing your concerns.
Thank you, Ed. Phil, did you want to?
I just wanted to say that when I moved here in 2019, I had an excellent realtor. And what she did was, before I even thought about buying in a certain community, she gave me the CCRs, the rules, everything I needed to know about that HOA. And for a time, I sat as a director at COA, and I will say the state of Arizona does have statutes for HOAs. The sad part is they can't be enforced. If your HOA is, if you read these statutes and you find your HOA is violating some of those statutes, good luck trying to remedy that fact, because it isn't going to happen. The HOAs have run rampant. They don't follow these statutes, and it's sad. I just brought that up because of what everybody was talking about.
Thank you for adding to the list, Phil. Appreciate that. Treasurer Gray.
Just as a side note, when you have a legal issue, the only way you can solve it is with a legal process. And we have, as I understand it, 384 condo association that have HOAs, and then we have one which is SHOA, that helps all of the single-family homes. So a lot of these smaller HOAs, you may have, 2, 3, 4 units in one association. And there can be issues with that. And so, yeah, unfortunately, when you've got some of those, it's the only way to solve it is in the legal process, because there are laws, and they have to follow those, but you have to process them in the legal issues. I think we're fortunate with SHOA that they do follow the legal issues, and unfortunately, because some people don't do what they're supposed to do, they have to spend a lot of money on legal issues. That's just the way people are, and it seems like it's going more and more that way nowadays. But again, as a community, we are focused on working together to create the best environment for everybody that we can have involved. And I wish every one of our realtors had the same kind of focus that what you had said your realtor had. And again, we've got some good realtors in Sun City. They focus on Sun City. We just have to contend with some of those that maybe come from other parts of the community that aren't aware. And those are, again, because of the uniqueness of our community, those are things that we just have to overcome. And the bottom line is we acknowledge that, we see that, and we're working to overcome that. And it would be nice to be able to snap our fingers and make it happen, but it won't. It will take time, and that process is in place. We're working on it, and eventually that will get permeated out. It just takes work and effort, and that's what we're doing. So I just want to assure you that, we're moving in the right direction when it comes to that. I totally understand. I understand. I understand.
Number 79, please. You were 79? Okay, thank you. Number 80.
Milton Lebsack, 130662. What I'm hearing here is very similar to what I've heard for 10 years at meetings. The board exchange meetings turn into a grievance session. And what I'm hearing from several groups, SHOA, COA, COC, no matter how it's done, there needs to be a sounding board to get a unified approach to problems before they go to the board. An exchange meeting that's entirely devoted to people's complaints about it's one issue this week, it's a different issue next month, it's a different issue next month. And the board is perfectly correct in saying that they should be dealing with issues that are affecting the recreation centers. That's what they're supposed to do. For other issues that are personal issues or issues with streets or law enforcement or whatever the issue may be, there are other agencies that should hear those complaints first before they come to the board, so that there can be a unified approach to a problem. And if it's a significant problem that affects a large number of people, you can get a single representative or a small group of representatives to present that problem to the board and see if they can deal with it. As I say, I've been attending meetings for 10 years, and the vast majority of them turn into grievance sessions which do not accomplish anything. And I'd like to see that change. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Diermeyer, is there anything else on the live stream?
No, sir.
Number 81.
Has everyone spoken who wished to speak? Mary, it wouldn't be an exchange meeting if you didn't get up and say something.
I was telling her she looks really good.
Yeah, she's getting along very well.
Yeah, but you're healing well. So.
Good morning, Mary Dahlman Shopper, 128442. Good New Year to everyone. Good to see a lot of people here. Couple of things. I believe the people who have talked about the dog part have been heard. Okay? got the message. And as far as the realtors and such, our experience was that we didn't know about the 5,000 until we went to closing. Surprise, surprise. And I can thank Visa and MasterCard for completing that closing. Because we signed everything, and then all of a sudden, well, now we have the community you're going into, they need $5,000. And I said, what for? And the realtor's response was, well, this is something that I'm sure I covered with you at the beginning of the sale. No. So, yes, we got the CC&Rs. And I read them line by line. But what was missing was a definition of who we are as a community, not a city. Change the name of Sun City? I'm opposed to that. Our relatives wouldn't be able to find us otherwise. And as far as what the board has done in 2025, I think you guys have been fantastic. I really do. For everything you got done in 2025 and all the substandard dirt that you picked up. I was clean. Substandard dirt that you picked up, and you came forward and you were able to make gains. My only request would be that for the people that are on the streaming, I would ask that at some point you mention how many people are on the streaming. I wasn't here for 7 weeks because I had foot surgery. When you have it on your right foot, you can't drive. And when your doctor tells you, you will not take this boot off and drive. So at some point, I think that would be helpful, even though we needed more chairs this morning, which was exciting. It would be helpful for others to know that just because you didn't walk in to this auditorium, that you are equally involved. Thank you. Good New Year.
Thank you, Mary.
Excuse me.
So, Mike, how many people are on streaming?
We have 23 people watching now.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Has everyone now spoken who wishes to speak today?
Art Van Ness, 168-188. I like the idea of creating a committee so that, like Duffy Land Dog Park has issues, they bring it in front of the board meeting here, and it's not the time or place to try to come up with resolutions. Maybe with that different committee, they could come up with solutions and present it to the board at that point. So I think that's a great idea. Now, I do have a dog. I've never been to Duffy Land Park. I don't have any idea where it is, but I am responsible for my dog. I bring poop bags with me, and I bring the poop back home with me. One thing, I don't know, maybe you can have Parks and Sons rubbish removal, go to the park and use that like twice a week, like home residential removal instead of a dumpster. They pick up the small bags. Might be a resolution so that they don't have to pick up the poop and put it into the dumpster, or put a smaller dumpster. You know, that's where that committee could get together and present the resolutions to the board that would help Duffy Land Dog Park. Maybe hire a landscaper to go in there. Maintenance, I don't know. Does maintenance have personnel to take care of that stuff? I don't know. Maybe don't. Like they come to the house once a month, $165, and they trim the bushes, pick up all the leaves and trimmings and all that stuff and take it away. So relatively inexpensive resolution, maybe they can go to the dog park and do the same. I don't know how big it is. Maybe it'd be more, I don't know. So that's about all I got to say about the meeting today. I appreciate the job you guys are doing. Looking forward to a good year here. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Lois? Okay, excuse me, Lois. Director Mapes?
Yeah, in response to, like, the Duffy Linton Park Club, you are a club. The COC has been around for a real long time. That's the club's office committee, which means if you have a complaint, you need something repaired or fixed, you put in for this, but you would come to the club's office. And that way we can deal right with your club and take care of things a lot quicker. Right, it doesn't
Okay,
matter. We
well,
have 124 clubs. We oversee and listen to everyone. You are a club. Social, Next Gen is a social club. If they had an issue, they would come to the club's office. It's all part of it.
Okay, let's not debate too much here. Lois, did you want to make a comment? It's at Oakmont.
Oakmont Recreation Center. It's on Del Webb, just south of.
107th.
107th, just south of Grand
Grand.
Avenue,
Yeah,
on the right side.
okay.
Good morning. Happy New Year to all of us. I've sat through this meeting and I wasn't going to speak. 53367. I memorized it. I congratulate these people in front of us. You have inherited, we have all inherited a dysfunctional structure, honest to God. My background is working for attorneys and in government, and I have endeavored to understand, to melt them together to understand this structure. I've heard one board member mention, you guys are about fun. You work on providing fun throughout the city. It's true, you don't do the roads, you don't do the infrastructure, the lights, the garbage pickup. I mean, that is a city. That's not what you do. And to top it off, you've got a big financial thing on top of you that you're working on. Again, I congratulate you. I've been here in this community since 2004. I resisted moving here. My husband insisted, and we moved here because I'm from the area and I knew the dysfunction a little bit before I came here. We knew about it as a teenager even, I knew. But you are endeavoring to dot the I's and cross the T's. I applaud this board for doing the policies, and oh my God, to find out that the state statutes weren't updated for us. Shame, shame, shame on not the board, but on the attorneys. They should have been on top of that. So you guys are taking care of that. Thank you very much. That I can understand. But I mean, it is, I agree with the gentleman behind me, complaint. I'll tell you when I didn't know what was going on, I was trying to understand, I started coming to the meetings. I started getting involved. Monica knows, I mean, Marsha, I like to call her Monica. Anyway, she helped me out a lot too. I met with some of the board members. Some of you I know, but I'm telling you, it is a tough row to hoe that you guys are doing, and I appreciate that. I understand that. What is it? I know about government because it's so, and law, it's so laid out if you follow the rules. Okay, so that is where I come from. I've been here a long time. Now I'm involved. Now I understand. Get on a committee. Put a term paper in, or whatever you want to call it, for a structure. Meet with the correct board member that can help get the answer. But the complaints are a lot. Some are viable, some are not. But I thank you very much, all of you, the staff and the board. Amen.
Thank you, Lois. Treasurer Gray?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I just want to also thank you, Lois, I didn't know that you came here with dread and trepidation because of the community. Having experience, I can understand that now. But I do appreciate the fact that you are involved and you're on a committee, you're working. And for those that don't know, she was also a former city manager, so that awareness for her is very deep. And so I appreciate your commitment. And I just want to applaud. You're one that serves. We've got a lot of other people that serve, Sun City residents that serve on our boards, that contribute. So it's not just the board of directors that we have here. It's a community of people that are contributing on all of our other committees too, that help make our community great. And again, just like Lois, people come with their skills and their background that they bring to the table to serve us as a community. And I think as residents of a non-city city, we have a lot to be thankful for, and I think we need to be aware of that and acknowledge that. So again, thank you for your service too.
Okay, have we finished? Lori, did you wish to add a final comment?
Lori Ellingson, 133335, and for the record, Duke Ellington is not my uncle. So my name is Ellingson. So in our Sun City update on page 20 and 21 are the community partners. So I would like to make a suggestion that we add another community partner, and that would be partnering with the realtors that sell property here in Sun City. That might help with a lot of confusion. When I bought my home, I was not told about the rec center fee. When I signed from electronically from Denver, Colorado. When I got here and got the key, my realtor said, "Who do you want on your deed for a rec center card?" And I hesitated and I said, "Well, I don't know." And she goes, you can add somebody anytime you want." So I said, okay. Now I realize if I do add someone else, I'm gonna have to pay the $500 transfer fee and the $30, all these other fees. So we need to have a better community partner with the realtors. And that would help eliminate a lot of the problems. Another thing is, I suggested that we change the facility fee to community enhancement fee. And I was told we can't do that because of all the legal work. But maybe underneath the facility fee, we can do a better job of explaining what it's all about. There's too many people that think that fee is only for the rec centers, and we might want to change. Instead of RCSC, Rec Centers of Sun City, maybe change it to Community Centers of Sun City. The dog park, the softball field, the Viewpoint Lake, those are not rec centers. Those are parks, community facilities. So that might help with some of the confusion and some of the angst that a lot of people bring up. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Do I dare ask one last time, has everyone spoken who wishes to speak this morning? All right, seeing none. Anything else on live stream, Mr. Diermeyer? None. All right. Thank you for your attendance. We are adjourned now, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow evening for the presentation by TriArt.